Hey guys, it's me again, and today we're going to review Won't You Be My Neighbor. This is easily my favorite movie of the year. Absolutely wonderful, charming. Hi, this is me again. Today we're going to be doing a review of Christopher Robin, another. Okay, I am sick and tired of 2 movies in a row making me cry. I want a movie that's dumb and stupid and silly and fun, and that will do. This will do. I feel like we've hit the renaissance or a revival of dumb, goofy monster movies. I mean, who would have thought we would get films like Pacific Rim, which had some interesting world building and characters, and Kong Skull Island, which took the classic story of King Kong and set it during the Vietnam War, and also a metaphor of it. And then there's the 2 Jurassic World movies we've recently gotten, and it just happens to be that we've hit this revival of it, at least. And then there's the Meg, which feels more like a self-parody of 90s blockbuster movies and other shark movies. Good news is, it mostly works.
Plot of The Meg is rather interesting. Essentially, a submarine team is sent to the bottom of the Mariana Trench because they think the supposed ground is actually a cloud and the ocean is much deeper than expected. They turn out to be right by attacked by a giant thing, so they get Jonas, a rescue officer, to basically go rescue them. They find out, in fact, that this giant thing is a megalodon, and it has now escaped and is about to go on a killing spree, and they have to stop it.
The film has several problems. The first act's pacing is dreadful. There are moments where it's too fast or too slow, and there is a ton of expositional dialogue, and I mean a ton. Seriously, you're gonna have to pay attention on this one, because there is so much science mumbo jumbo stuff they gotta fit into this whole story so it makes any sense, that your head's ready to explode at any minute just by the mere thought of it. It also does this weird thing where it tries to take itself seriously. The movie's marketing itself clearly as a dumb, goofy, silly movie. So when you get to the first act and everything is actually shot like an actual horror movie, and they do that weird Jaws, you don't actually see the shark. When you get through all that, you're more just confused when they actually get into the goofy over-the-top stuff. It's not necessarily bad or anything, the serious stuff necessarily, but it's so tonally off from the rest of the movie, the second and third act, that it creates this feeling of just confusion. That being said, this actually does do something really useful to the movie, and that's actually make the Meg kinda scary. And it is where the second and third act of the movie really do a great job overall. In fact, I'd honestly say, while the first act is great in a different reason, the second and third act at least do a decent enough job getting you into the mindset of, okay, we're gonna go into a goofy, silly mode. And to be honest, that's really it as far as complaints go. I mean, I could say that not everything in the movie is great, but it's also a movie that's very aware of what it is. Now onto the stuff I really liked, and man, was there a lot I liked in this movie. And I mean a lot. This movie, when it actually gets into what it's trying to be, works. One good example is the characters, or at least the main character, that being Jonas, who is essentially just another 90s stereotypical, I'm the cool dude, ain't I fun, you know what I'm talking about, one of those characters. And you think you're pretty much gonna just get that the whole movie, and while you kinda do, the movie actually does a couple of moments where you actually get to see him as, strangely enough, an actual human being. It does a good job at doing it though, so as a result, you're able to really, really invest in this guy, and man, Jonas as a character is just awesome. There is no other way around it. The whole thing is pretty much just, I can do anything ridiculous in this movie and make it look awesome, even though it is totally unbelievable that I would be able to do this, and he does it in every single scene. Not to mention, the actual supporting cast of this movie is awesome as well. But the actors at least put a lot of, fun with it. You can tell these guys just, had so much fun on screen, because you feel like these are actual, also characters. And you kind of get a little invested in them, even if you don't know any of their backstories or what their likes and dislikes are. You at least want them to make it through, which is why the movie gets really weird when any of the characters actually die, because then you just, you're really sad about it, and it creates a weird thing. So when you get to scenes where the Meg is just taking out people that have nothing to do with the rest of the movie, this movie is really interesting the more and more you dig deep into it. Or should I say, dive into it. No, I'm not gonna do that. That being said, the VFX on the Meg are really good. You can tell that the entire VFX team behind the actual shark worked their butts off. There are moments when it doesn't feel like a CG thing. It actually feels like an actual shark. How it moves, how it goes up, how it goes down. It's insane how much detail was put into the thing, which is why it gets weird, because it also similarly has a thing where some of the CG kind of, let's just say, would look good if it came out 6 years ago. But you'd also argue that perhaps that was the intent, to make it kind of cartoony and kind of make the VFX rubbery at times, which I'm not saying is a bad thing, because if you're gonna do a cheesy B movie, you gotta have the dumb bad effects as well. Just because you have $130 million budget doesn't mean you immediately create a silly movie. You kinda actually have to be silly. Plus, I gotta give credit where credit is due. The soundtrack of this movie is awesome! Seriously, I love the soundtrack of this thing. This is one of the most original, unique ones I've seen. And it's really cool, because one of the tracks actually has a Jaws score snuck in there. It's very subtle. I caught it on recently, but I was like, wait a minute, that's the Jaws theme. So I have the actual soundtrack here, and this is what I'm talking about right here. Listen carefully, because I found the Jaws theme here. Dun-dun. See? I told you, it is there. I caught that on my second viewing. Holy cow, that was a sneaky little thing. Harry Grayson Williams. Sneaky!
Overall, The Meg is a flawed but fun movie that is exactly what you want it to be. It's fun, it's goofy, I had an absolute blast from this movie, and I can honestly say that this was one of my favorites of the summer. Saw it twice, and I left both times with the biggest grin on my face. I'll give The Meg a love reaction.